Of the benefits of studying the Sirah is that the Sirah brings about knowledge with which we can defend the honor of our Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ's honor has always been attacked from day one. The Quraysh fabricated things against him. Sahirun kadhab. They said this is ifkun muftara. They said he is a madman, he's a magician, he's a poet, he's this, he's that. Because nobody can explain how the Qur'an came. You have to invent some explanation, right? Where did this unlettered shepherd get the Qur'an from? Even the Arabs, the Quraysh had to explain. So they invent the most preposterous claims. They said he's a magician. They said he's a madman. They said he's this. They said he's that. Well, the propaganda began back then. It continues to this day. And each one of the charges that the Prophet ﷺ was accused of, the Qur'an defends against it. And each one of the charges later people invent. We need to turn to the Sirah and defend against the Prophet ﷺ. In our times, how many people are saying that our Prophet ﷺ was a bloodthirsty terrorist? This is exactly what they're saying. They're saying he was a womanizer. He married this, he married that. My dear brothers and sisters, if you want to defend Rasulullah, how do you expect to do so when you don't know his life and times? If you want to defend your Prophet, how are you going to do so when you don't know whether these things are true or not? And if certain elements are true, how do we understand them? And when we put them in context, then insha'Allah ta'ala, it is easier to explain. So by studying the Sirah, we will be able to defend the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there is no way to defend him other than by studying the Sirah. And that is why the early scholars of Islam, the Sahaba, Tabi'un, Tabi'un, they would teach the Sirah just like they would teach all of the other sciences. Ali ibn al-Husayn, the great-grandson of the Prophet ﷺ, he said, we would teach our children maghazi, meaning the maghazi is the early word for Sirah, the expeditions of the Prophet ﷺ, just like we would teach them the Qur'an. You see, this is how they would raise their children, Sirah and the Qur'an. You need to teach your children the Qur'an, and you need to teach them the Sirah along with the Qur'an. And so the curriculum in early Islam was really composed of Qur'an and Sirah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I encourage all of you to start the same with your own children. That instead of reading bedtime stories of ancient Greek pagans, right? Why don't we talk about the life and times of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Talk about the Sahaba. And there are so many books of Sirah for the children, that these are the stories that our children should be raised upon and listen to and hear.